And you know, God goes on and he says, have the gates of death been opened to thee? Or hast thou seen the doors of the shadow of death? Well, I have to tell them that they better carefully consider this matter of death, because they are going to die. Evolution, theory of it or no theory of it, they are going to die. They may well meet up with Mr. Darwin, their mentor. But the fool who says in his heart and with his lips, there is no God, the only place you end up is the lake of fire. Unless you change your tune and repent, you could pooh-pooh it as much as you like. It makes no difference. And I'll go further. If any of these people or people of their persuasion look at this, listen to this, I can tell you now, these words will remain with them until they die and after they die. They can never, ever get rid of it. Never. Because these aren't just my words, you see. My words don't count. My words don't count. I'm just a man. You know, and God then pushes his creation in front of Job. That's what he does. He says in Job 38:36, who hath put wisdom in the inward parts, or who hath given understanding to the heart? God is saying, you as a living, breathing being, how do those bits inside function and tick? Do you ever notice how many specialists we have? You have a specialist for eyes, a specialist for nose, throat, ears, brains, limbs, liver, everything. The body is so complex, we got specialists for everything. And they admit they haven't any idea how it really, really functions. That's why doctors quote practice. God gives Job a lesson in his creation. He says, doth the hawk fly by thy wisdom, and stretch her wings toward the south? The hawk, peregrine falcon. Do you know how much it has been clocked at? What speed do you think it's been clocked at? It's been clocked in a dive at 242 miles per hour. Do you understand what that means? 242 miles an hour. If you're running a motorbike at that speed, you would have a lot of difficulty staying on it. But the peregrine falcon, she's coming down. Absolutely true. I've mentioned this before. The bar-headed goose has been seen at 70,000 feet. 70,000 feet. A commercial plane flies at 35,000. Mostly 30, but 35,000. Oh yes. And one species of eagle goes even a bit higher than that. How does it not freeze and become a block of ice? I wish I knew the phone number of Mr. Evolution, I really do. Because I'll be on the phone to him. I'll be saying to him, look, come and do something. I have two robins who keep my company. Up by the window of the other, I'm looking at this beautiful, perfect little bird. One of them features in my last year calendar. Beautiful. It had on the same suit of clothes it had on in the summer. Its feathers keep it cool in the summer, warm in the winter. Well, why didn't Mr. Evolution do something like that for us? I went down the road for a walk today down by the lake. Took some photos. I'm always taking photos. It was freezing. They're promising us Arctic weather this weekend. It was absolutely chilled. I don't normally. I had on this. I had on a coat. I had to put on a hat. I had to put on a scarf. I don't normally do this. And gloves. And there's Robin flying around as if, well, what's the fuss? So why didn't evolution work a little something out for us so that all our elderly don't have to worry about heating bills? We should have a little better priority than the animal kingdom, shouldn't we? I've seen a video of a goshawk. Goshawk is a very large bird. Flies under the forest floor. I've got the video. And they put up obstacles, bamboo sticks, for this goshawk to fly through. No easy thing, twisting like that. And even through a netting with a hole. And they started running the camera and let the goshawk go. The goshawk went through all the bamboos and even through the netting, the hole in the netting, and the photographers did not see what happened. It happened so quickly. They had to slow the picture right down, and then they saw that when she reached the first bamboo, she did like this, in a blink. Evolution? I tell you, if it was evolution, the first time it flew through, squashed into the obstacle, broke his neck and been dead. That would have been the end of that. Isaiah 40:12, who hath measured the waters in the hollow of his hand? The eternal God. He's saying, I measured the waters in the hollow of my hand, meted out the heaven with a span. He said, I put a tape on it and did it. And comprehended the dust of the earth in a measure. He said, I measured it, I weighed it. I weighed the mountains in scales and the hills in a balance. Isaiah 40:22, it is he that sitteth upon the circle of the earth, and the inhabitants thereof are as grasshoppers, that stretches out the heavens as a curtain, and spreadeth them out as a tent to dwell in. That is the eternal God we are talking about. Grasshoppers. There's a very good television program I watched, still little television, some true, about swarms. And you saw these millions and millions of grasshoppers in formation, and they weren't banging into each other. I have been in the sea. Shallow water, 4 or 5 feet, diving around looking at the fish and the little reef and everything. And had a whole shoal of fry come, whole school of them.